Okay.
Maclunkey.
For fuck's sake.
I love that. It's like every fucking sitcom ever. Someone's like, you do the outro, and someone's like, oh yeah, this.
Oh shit, I'm still here. Yeah. Ooh, God. Maclunkey. Hello.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my podcast, the Maclunkey Squadron podcast. This is my show now. My name is Brutal Richard.
Oddcast.
I'm joined by a bunch of foreigners who live in countries that aren't free. Thank you for joining. Let's have a discussion.
Let's take
about
that. I'd like to talk about your health care for a second.
The irony coming from an American.
Yeah, let's tear apart America instead, guys.
God.
The only country where they scream about being free, but nothing in the country's free. I love it.
If I get sick, I'll die.
Meanwhile, I just had a surgery that I did not have to pay a single thing for. Like that.
If I get ill, I get a doctor to tell me I'm poorly and give me some naughty medicine. So
I was like, "Are you guys gonna actually do this for free?" And they were like, "Yeah, you're good." That's so shocking to me.
I had a seizure, and we just walked out of there after it was done.
Like, bye. Thanks for the help, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, thanks for helping my girlfriend with her seizure. We're gonna go now. Bye.
Because it'd be like, imagine, not to get into a topical political thing, but it's like, imagine going there and Sai's having a seizure, and they're like, "Yeah, but you can't afford it." So
ooh, this might be a little too much for you. So
that literally happens here.
That's so horrifying.
If you had a seizure in a hospital in America, they'd help you, right? But then in your room, they would drop a bill on you and be like, "You owe us $9,000."
And you'd have a heart attack at the bill.
Good luck. Yeah.
And then
at that point, just don't even save me. More. Jesus. You go in debt, you're forced to go in debt. Yeah, right, Jacob? It's insane over there. All I'm saying is, guys, come here.
Don't get ill, you'll be fine.
I'll just become a DNR, you know?
Yeah, at that point, to be honest.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about episode 7 of She-Hulk, but we are also joined by Dan today, who has not been with us the entire season. So I just want to get Dan's take on the season as a whole, and then we can get on with this episode.
Oh, I don't know. How spicy do you want it?
I mean, dude, we have Richard on the show. You can go as spicy as you want.
I think it's a pile of shit.
Yay!
It does not. It's supposed to appeal to a woman. The only women that I have had any feedback from has been an average sort of working class like myself, and every single one of them has been like, "This does not appeal to me. This is not realistic. This is not, in any way comparable to my life. This only appeals to, high-earning white women in America,
rich white women that want to be victims."
That's why, that's why.
Glass mom, yeah.
That's the very same thing.
No. There's a difference, though. Wine glass moms have earned that right. There's a difference. This is just straight up being a spoiled prat. There's a difference.
I don't know if I want to support wine glass moms. I don't know if I'm into that, but
no, I'm not necessarily. But you get my point.
You were gonna say,
it's the very same thing as like The Crown or fucking
soap operas in general kind of thing.
Those shows where it's made for poor people about rich people.
Yeah.
And I'm I can't get interested in that shit because I don't care about rich people.
Yeah, it's hard for me to watch this lavish lifestyle where I'm I hate that shit. Because you people are so just
unlikable.
Yeah, unlikable, and you do things in such abundance that it makes you look insane. I don't know,
I definitely think the writers decided that they were going to take a good idea in presenting how society is towards the female gender, and then decided to take something very real and then run off with the idea. It was well, who are you appealing to? No, it's not unwatchable, obviously, but there is an element of it where it's so forced. Everything is forced. There is no natural flow of comedy. Yeah. It's just you have to laugh because you feel bad. You're I don't feel bad because it's not funny. It's not great.
I would say the most recent episode, I think did make me crack up a few times.
It was
just
how
some
jokes that I
liked. Just how ridiculous it is at
this
points.
It's been the best episode in my opinion so far.
Yeah,
really?
Honestly, yeah. In my opinion too, I think is the best one so far.
I think this
just
what I was
simply for the humor in it.
I find that I think I said this last time too, where each episode I've noticed I feel better after the second episode after, if that makes sense. Like I feel like they kind of combine to make a better overall arc. So
That's why I've been saying. Everyone is fucking complaining about these shows, but it's like you're just looking at it from one episode perspective. It's like fucking the Rings of Power. The most recent episode, Rings of Power, fucking blew my mind. Amazing.
Not to get into that, but Richard, what did you think
of the Rings of Power?
Of the new episode of Rings of Power? Did you see it yet?
I found it utterly disgusting.
Okay.
Oh,
so interesting.
I
haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet either, but
there's no pleasing this guy.
I have. Oh, there really is though.
But that's not what I'm saying necessarily. All at the same time, AJ. Like I think that each episode should still have like merit in itself. But what I'm saying more so is it almost feels like they should have released 2 episodes at a time with the way that it works, because each episode kind of fulfills.
With the Rings of Power or She-Hulk?
No, with She-Hulk.
Okay.
With She-Hulk, I feel like if they had released each 2 episodes at the same time, it feels like those 2 things combined always to make like a more fulfilled 2 episode arc kind of thing. So, and especially with how long this show is, it's not crazy long. It's only 9 episodes, but it is given a longer runtime or a longer episode run than the other shows that we've seen so far. That you'd expect it to be kind of more pointed in where we're going.
Yeah, for sure. Like at this point, like I still don't really know what the end game is.
Yeah,
I think what it boils down to is obviously we've had now the confirmation of things like Daredevil and what I would call like the Defenders level heroes, right? So I'm assuming that this is now feeding into that.
I thought that
who knows,
premise.
man? The canon's nebulous.
In this fucking episode, they brought back the fucking one of the Wrecking Crew guys. I thought he was gonna tell her like, yeah, we're taking your blood for this thing, but he didn't do shit.
He didn't say
like,
anything. I
Bad
actually
writing.
thought that was kind of funny. Like that was the funnier part for me though, is that when they were like, "You guys probably don't even recognize this guy," because I did not recognize him when he came out, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Who's that guy?
And it was the Wrecking Crew guy. I was like, seriously?
It's just so frustrating to me though, where even She-Hulk at no point was like, "Hey, why did you jab me with a syringe?"
Yeah, right. Like
no question on that. No,
Well,
Yeah, like
it's
what
just
were
not
you
even
doing?
brought up.
Why were you coming at me? Who hired you?
Because she's genetically superior. Why would she question it?
Of course,
She-
of course. I feel like this show
She
and every other Marvel show
is not angry at him because she can control her anger way better.
infinitely better. I think with the one exception of WandaVision, every single Marvel show, and maybe Loki, every single Marvel show beyond those 2 has I've just hated more and more as each episode goes on. And in this show in particular, the only episode of the show that I liked did not have Jen in it. Anytime Jen's on screen, the show is awful.
There was an episode where it didn't have Jen on? What do you mean?
Yeah, the episode that had Pug and the Aquafina.
I mean, like
girl.
Jen was in it, but like
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I get what you
It
mean.
was-
I get what you
It
mean.
wasn't a Jen-centric episode, but
That's also
This-
something I noticed about this episode. There was no side thing in this episode, and I was kind of like, "Oh, okay."
well, this
Well,
whole
like the
episode
side-
was a side thing.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
right? It was just a nothing episode, kind of.
Like this
because it's a nothing show.
Yeah.
It's just an empty episode of like just more empty.
Like I figured at the end of it, we were
I feel
gonna
like
get a
the-
reveal that Abomination was like actually like he had done something wrong, and that it was like, "Oh fuck, you caught me at the end, and I did fuck up." But
But
like,
no, he's just a namaste guy.
he's just cool and funny, I guess. Like, he's just a new-
Obama Stay is fucking brilliant, dude.
Did you just come up with that, or was that in the show?
No, that's in the show. It's on the
fuck,
wall.
That's funny. Okay, I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
I-
so it's the only thing in the episode that I thought was like actually clever writing, but the rest of the show is just like more reassurance that Jen is indeed an emotionally underdeveloped alcoholic psychopath.
Which I honestly think that like if we were actually focusing on that in a way like that, and she's not perfect, that would be good. But it's
Yeah.
like
She is
keeps-
in her mid to late 30s, dude. Real people aren't staring at their phones like 15-year-old girls waiting for a phone call from some dude they met for 3 days. It's just, this is what crazy people do.
I just
Like
think
seeing
that's
her-
being,
man,
I think
Romeo
that's
and
being
Juliet.
general relatable to like people who are watching the show in their 20s and stuff like that. People who like, I think that still happens. Like if you don't have like the
it
back
doesn't.
and forth,
No, it fucking
Absolutely not.
You're in your
That happened-
20s.
that
you can't say
happens-
anything.
doesn't, right?
That happens to crazy people who are
Yeah.
emotionally underdeveloped alcoholics. And
so-
like,
wait a minute.
I
Are
find
you
it
trying to-
alarming.
Are you trying to say that like if you've been on a really good few dates with somebody and then they ghost you, you're not going to be a little bit like
Dude,
bummed
I would.
out by that?
Yeah,
No.
I've absolutely
No, I
been-
won't be.
pretty standard.
Well, you're
Like,
different,
not
man.
as-
'cause I have
Yeah, like you're
absolutely
built
been through
different,
that.
dude. I've been bummed out by that kind of thing before too.
Like I
You're
have
built
been
different.
through that, and I have been like a very similar thing like that happened to me, and
So
I was
this is why I'm
depressed
saying
for months.
emotionally
Yeah.
underdeveloped. Because if somebody ghosted me in my 20s, sure. But in my 30s with a well-paying job and a good family and a good life, no, dude, I'd fucking move on. I'm
I
a
think
grown
that
up.
was the thing about like what I also liked from this episode in an emotional sense was her monologue. I will say that was like a thing where I was like, that was like a bright star in this otherwise junk pile of a show in a sense.
I don't even like that. I wholly disagree with it. I think she takes advantage of being She-Hulk every opportunity she gets,
But like
and
it's
then
'cause-
cries
it's 'cause,
when people
like,
don't like Jen.
Yeah, but like it's because that sucks.
It's because Jin's unlikable. People don't dislike Jin because she's She-Hulk. People dislike Jin because Jin is unlikable.
But they like. I just feel like that she's. I guess what I figured she was saying more was that when she is Jen, even people might try to be with her just because she has that aspect to her, right? With like
Maybe because
prettier
She-Hulk
best friend.
is more likable. Jin is an unlikable, shitty person. Like, seeing they show Jen taking a shot of whiskey at like fucking noon, and they pass that off like that's a thing normal people do. I'm a person who's dealt with alcoholism before. You don't take shots at noon to go on a date unless you have a
No.
problem.
No.
Yeah, like
No,
I
you
will
do
say,
not.
like that kind of thing. Like they're being a little nonchalant about it. So
She's drunk in every episode.
Because like I think they're playing it off of like, oh, she's the quirky like wine ant, you know, like, but like then again, like if you think about it, like
I don't
those
know.
wine ants are
hammering
also
wine-
alcoholics,
drinking
you know, like
wine-
it's like, why are
drinking
we?
wine and hammering
like, it-
hard liquor during the day.
that,
is
yeah, that's
two
what I'm saying. Like if
different
every
things.
time you're talking to this person, they have a drink in their hand, that's a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah, like that might
Well,
be a problem.
they are writing a person who is supposed to be in their mid to late 30s, a mid to late 30-year-old professional, as if she is a 21-year-old girl, and it just comes across as wrong at best and inappropriate at worst.
Yeah.
Mm.
I feel like this was an opportunity in this episode to, because I get that like she's Emil or she's Blonsky's lawyer or whatever, and she's there in like a professional sense. But I kind of would have appreciated her to look at the situation that happened to him, where he kind of got what's the word I'm looking for, like falsely accused of going crazy in a way, and like he's really just hanging out being chill. I wish he had kind of been like, yeah, like why are they on you so much? Like they shouldn't be. But instead she's literally like making fun of him the whole episode.
I think this show is focusing on the entirely wrong aspects of what She-Hulk should be about, you know?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
agree.
Yeah,
Completely
like
agree.
that kind of thing. I was like, okay, like cool beans that you should be using this as an opportunity to free your mind from the texting thing, and like let's just talk about Emil Blonsky for like the episode or some shit. Like let's be with him. You know what I mean? Like that's what I interpreted, and then she fucked off and was looking for cell signal the whole episode.
Which,
Like-
what a bizarre scene that was.
It was weird because can I be honest? Do people still do? I get that they do, maybe because she's older or whatever. She's doing the whole hold your phone up bullshit thing, like in a place where
Well, you gotta get closer to the signals.
man, like I don't do that. Like I really
It just
don't.
comes across as weird. Like you're just gonna like walk miles across this man's, I guess, yard, which is
I think
strange.
I think Jen has like some undiagnosed situation happening.
And
Oh,
they,
she's
I
like,
want to kind
God,
of address that in the
God,
show. You know what I mean? Like if they
That's what I'm
actually
saying,
address
like,
that she has some
if-
problems, like there we
If
go.
this show, like that's what I'm saying, they're like focusing on the wrong thing for the show. I think they should focus more on like Jen's issues instead of like her perfection, you know?
Yeah, her
like-
other people's issues with her. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's
because like they should focus on her depression, like make her depressed about being She-Hulk. Because like she turned into a She-Hulk and she's like, yeah, I'm good with this. Like, and nothing came of that. Like, what the fuck?
That
and,
would be nice to see, but they
and
don't have
then-
the stones to do that.
yeah.
yeah, talk about like her being a fucking alcoholic because she is.
The problem is the people that write this show think that this behavior is normal.
And they think that this is what like fans want. They want just like a dumb, quirky jokester the entire time.
Well, but I don't want to
Maybe-
be that
maybe
guy
I'm
that
crazy,
says it.
but,
I don't.
like-
Yeah, like but like the fact that like it's a female character and she's able to get away and say things that other people can't. Like how we brought up with the whole like Captain America thing in the first episode. That
Yeah,
kind of
that's
thing is
straight
just
up wrong.
weird. Like to
Because like they're writing female, like they're trying to make this female centric, but they're writing female characters completely wrong. They're writing them the same way that every other fucking male writer wrote a female character. where it's just the fucking a big kiss, dumb blonde, you know?
It's like checkbox stuff where it's like we're filling out a thing that we have to do, and now we did that, we can get on with like the stuff that we want to do, but we're not doing anything. So the
way I write female characters, this might like I've said this before to people, and they haven't agreed, but I think it's still right. Is I write a male character and then just change the pronouns to a female.
That's how you just should write a character.
Yeah.
I'm of the mind, and I feel this exact same way about Rings of Power. I think that what we have here is a female character who is written as a toxic male character. And I find that alarming.
Like,
this is everything that we're supposed to be. So Jin and Galadriel are your traditional toxic male characters. They're the things that we're supposed to be getting away from, but they just gender swap them. And I would even go so far as to say that Jin in particular, even Galadriel, they are written as toxic male villains who we assume are heroes.
To be fair, like in the show, they even state that Galadriel is like dark, you know, like she's not good.
Right. You know, the thing that she's never described as in the books.
Fucking whatever, dude.
Whoa. But I mean, like, isn't that the implication? Like, what? Okay, as a person who's
there have been moments in the books where like there's things in the books where they're not like they're doing in the show, and
as a person who's like not really like familiar with Lord of the Rings lore, like, isn't she like fucked up? Because she in the first movie she has like dark powers or whatever, doesn't she?
Yeah.
What are those?
Saving my thoughts on this for
no, Richard. I want to know this information legitimately, right?
This is not She-Hulk, fellas. Come on.
Well, 1 second though. 1 second. AJ, help me out here, man. Like, what are her powers? Like, why is she dark?
Well, I mean, she's similar as like Gandalf, where she's just like ageless wisdom, and she's like known as like she's known as like the pure elf, like that she like gives Gimli like 3 hairs and everything.
Right.
Like I'm thinking of that scene where she goes all, but I'm specifically saying when she goes all weird and like dark and green.
Right. I can explain that. So the Galadriel herself is an incredibly powerful. I guess you could kind of say mage. They don't really have mages in Tolkien, but she's one of the oldest elves who have ever existed. She is incredibly wise, incredibly powerful, and incredibly powerful politically. More importantly, she is the very essence of beauty and femininity, to the point where just giving away her hair is enough to make a grown dwarf cry. The darkness that we see briefly is just the effects of the Rings of Power, and it is very important to note that she is one of the very few beings to ever live who can control that shit. Is Galadriel girl boss with sword on her back? No.
We're not going to see that in the show then, right? Like we're
not yet. I think we.
Who the fuck knows what they're going to show in this?
Hold on. This is also like thousands and thousands of years before that ever takes place. So like, there's literal generations of character development to go through here.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I mean,
no, there's not. There's not. It wasn't written.
You think she was born?
Amazon can't just say, "Hey,
hold on." Who gives a shit if it was written or not? There's
turns out a lot of people
did not write that.
As it turns out, a great deal of people care about this.
Yeah, but
given by the reviews.
But that's always the thing. It's like, Tolkien didn't write this. Yeah, so what if he didn't write it? It could be implied in different ways. This isn't how Tolkien wrote it. Fucking get off your high horse, your little goblin monster there. Like,
it's not a high horse. That's if you're going to claim that it's Tolkien, then it has to be Tolkien.
Because they're also working off notes that he wrote, where it does state this shit, but it's not written down in the books.
Which is exactly why it shouldn't be a show claiming to be Tolkien.
So we're gonna save the rest of that for October 22nd, when we do our Rings of Power full season review, because that'll be a riveting discussion. Holy crap. I have a quick question for you guys. I don't know if you saw this or anything, but at the top of the fucking pole at Blonsky's place, what was that? I know you guys probably didn't see it, but what was that?
Top of the pole?
The top of the pole. There's like a really weird symbol. I don't know. I thought it was a thing because they like held on it for like a second. I thought maybe it was a reference to something, but it was literally like probably nothing. So I just want to know if anyone noticed that. Exactly, right? It like literally just dragged out, and I was like, what the fuck? What is that? Why are we like focusing on this pole here?
I do love there's going to be an entire generation of people who think that California looks like Georgia.
Right, yeah, exactly. And we got our first vampire in the MCU in this episode. What did you guys think about that?
He's kind of a big deal, too.
He's like the first vampire.
AJ literally, I went on a thing like before we came on about him.
Yeah, Saracen is in the MC or not MCU in Marvel, supposedly one of like the very first vampires to ever exist.
And a lot of people
I love
are thinking that he's like Blade's son.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. I think it's kind of cute that they were like, he thinks he's a vampire, and then they just kind of let that roll. I thought that was kind of fun.
I liked that gag. He was one of my favorite parts of the episode.
Especially when you know who he is.
That reminded me of the Mephisto thing that we were all talking about a few weeks ago, where it was like, imagine if this show subtly just dropped Mephisto in the jury, and that was like a holy shit, there's Mephisto. I think this was like that, but
Saracen is a Punisher villain.
Yeah.
Not to like the same degree, of course, as Mephisto. I don't think people would get, but like this
I believe
still,
it's a different Saracen. I believe there are two Saracens. One is a Punisher villain, and one is just a very sparsely referenced ancient vampire thing. They're even spelled differently.
Oh god damn it, Marvel! What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Also, like something that we brought up, I think, last week, and it was conveniently done a lot in this episode, was that they showed Jen changing into She-Hulk and Jen, like, at her point. You know what I mean? How we were saying that they aren't going to show that in the budget? They kind of did show that a lot in this episode, I noticed.
I thought it looked really bad, too.
It looked kind of weird.
I even, like, freeze-framed it and, like, went back and watched it, like, 2 or 3 times because it looked really, really weird. I guess it threw me off because, like, they played this like steam sound effect when she's transforming, and I'm like, it's kind of, it gave me like Attack on Titan vibes, I guess. Where like, what is this?
They're just releasing gas.
Yeah, it's just like strange. Like there's some kind of like pressure being released. Is she farting? Where's the pressure come? What's that sound effect? What is that?
Is that like when she's charging the guy, or like all the time?
No, when she drops from She-Hulk to Gen form. It plays that like
I
sound
think
effect.
What that literally
like,
what I would interpret is the clothing around her body like moving around in like a really weird way, but that is a weird. They have not
1 gear second.
Oh yeah. They have not properly done the, what is it called, like when you're doing the whole sound booth shit in the background, like they have not done that properly, I would say, on those. It does not sound proper. If she was wearing like a silky dress, I think maybe. Yeah. But like when she's wearing her like normal clothes,
I don't know, man. I really did search for things to like in this episode because there were some gags that I did think were funny. I thought that the man bull, not mechanical bull line was pretty funny.
That I like that he had like prepped that. That was so
yeah.
The way that
I liked Obamaste. I liked the bioelectric sword gag.
Yeah, like, dude, that was so cool. Like that was a
cool
small
as hell.
thing that was just like, whoa! If I met this guy, that would be awesome.
There's some stuff in this episode that I think were a little bit funny, and I did try to like it as like a sort of one-off episode. The problem for me is that I just can't see Jen as anything other than a massive walking red flag.
I'm sorry, I got to the part where like Saracen literally looks over and is like, and that's a shame because I bet Jen is pretty damn great. Like that is so perfect to me. Like the subtlety and shit there is so beautiful. It's like, I bet she tastes great too. Oh my god. I don't know, I thought, in all honesty, I want this to kind of come back, but I know that this isn't. I don't know how they're doing if season 2 is the thing they're gonna even think about.
I hope not,
especially with the reception, right? Like I don't know how that's gonna go. But if they did manage to get a season 2, I'd be okay with these guys showing up as like a consistent, like, hey, like maybe Jen does need some therapy because she isn't a great person. So like
she drastically needs therapy, and I am glad that they sort of addressed that.
Yeah, and I think that like, hey, this group might be good for her. So
I thought it was a little weird that she's like best friends with them after knowing them for 3 hours.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
that's just I'm nitpicking on that.
That's just Marvel. Marvel does stupid shit like that at times. I don't I just don't think they're gonna come back. In all honesty, like,
no, I think that's it. That's their little arc done.
So like, I think that like saying that they became best friends, I more so got even the implication that she's like, well, I'm gonna get out of here and just fuck off because, goddamn, there's a bunch of weirdos here. There's a guy who thinks he is a bull. Where's he from? Is he just like a dude?
Which guy?
The man bull. Like, what is...
I think he's just a dude. I didn't even look him up. I thought he was from the best part of the episode.
I thought he was from, like, Asgard, because he reminded me of that fucking bull from, oh, wait, no, that was in fucking Doctor Strange. Never mind.
All right, William Torrens.
Oh my god. Why don't you go by that, buddy? Manbull is not a good name.
Hold on. No, this isn't the same guy.
It's not the same.
I did love the code.
I don't think this is an actual guy. I think this might have been just made.
It's just the guy for the show. Wait, okay, but is the Matador guy real? Like, he has to be real.
Yeah, he's real. He's real.
So then they definitely made it off of that. They were like, okay.
Was it me or was it one of you guys that called that Josh was going to be a prick?
I don't know who
one of us called
it.
that. I can't remember who it was.
I think
but we definitely called
that. About being like he's probably not going to be good either because there are no good men on the show aside from...
Not a single good man on the show.
Can't remember his character name because they don't show him enough. What? Pug?
Pug is his name.
I never... How do I not remember that? But yeah, he's
even
funny.
Pug.
He's
I think
stupid.
Pug is a...
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Is like even the best male character in the show is written as a buffoon.
Yeah, he's turned into he can get his job done, but like he's a buffoon behind the scenes. Like it's like, well, he's not an intelligent man. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but yeah, with the Josh thing, I don't know if we predicted that he was gonna be like Hulk King, but that was sort of, I guess, a big deal. I don't know. Do you guys think that's gonna go anywhere? What? So like in the last episode, Hulk King was the person like messaging, like the people. He's just like he might be the leader. I don't know, but
I am Hulk King. I banged Hulk.
Do you guys think that he actually liked her at all, and like there's gonna be a whole arc of like that he's like, ooh, like
I don't know.
No good men.
I'm overreaching.
None.
Okay, well because
this is a show about women, so no.
Let's be realistic. We know how crap the writing's been thus far. Why would we then have an interesting storyline with it?
I don't know, man. Because like it just feels stupid that like she's. I don't know. That just seems like it would be an interesting thing because like he did. I don't know. I guess he was a good actor. But the chemistry was palpable between them.
I mean, it was more... Yeah, it was like forced.
Yeah, I mean, it was written chemistry, I would say. Is that though? It was as if we were watching what was supposed to be like a romantic comedy movie and it was working out, so I mean... But again, he could be faking. But
it was pretty... not cringy, but like it was a bit like, oh god.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just how I feel about romance scenes in general in that capacity. Like, I've never watched a romantic comedy and come out of it and been like, well, that wasn't.
But that was great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm always like, well, that was a little awkward.
Yeah, those scenes are for specific people, but I did find it, I guess, alarming seeing Jen become completely fucking unhinged because she got ghosted. I'm like, Jesus Christ, your whole life relied on this?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think, like, we're trying to go a little too small scale in this whole emotional roller coaster that she's going on to focus it on that part. That it is kind of weird. Like, yeah, she could be, like, upset about it, but I think that it would be interesting to, like, go into other things that are actually upsetting her off of this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I think that what they were trying to show is that, you know, it's really upsetting for her, and they did it in a comedic way, you know, showing her face all disheveled and her hair all messed up. It's supposed to be funny, but to me at least, and I think to a good number of people, it just comes across as like a big red flag. Jen needs help. She's not okay. Like, this person is unwell, very, very unwell. Not heroic in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, like, she hasn't really done anything heroic in the whole show. Like, we haven't seen her.
She's actively said that she refuses to.
I mean, she saved the people in the first episode, I guess, and then
she also like didn't seem to give a shit when Titania knocked that waiter down at the wedding. She just like let it happen.
Yeah, like the only time like she fought Titania at like a friend of hers wedding, and like in the event like kind of ruined it, and it's like, well, could have just not done that, really.
You could argue that She-Hulk pushed Titania into the wedding building.
Yeah.
We only have 2 episodes left of this show, and I'm really trying to think how that's going to work out, because, like, Daredevil's probably the next one, and, like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, she's going to meet Daredevil, and what's he going to tell her? Like, is he going to be a shitty guy, too, in in this show, or is he going to be the only good guy? You know what I mean?
Nope. He's going to be a shitty guy. He's going to try to outlawyer her.
He's gonna come in and
I absolutely maybe think that, but
he's gonna come in, save She-Hulk, and be like, "Didn't see you there."
Yeah, I think he'll come in as a lawyer, not as Daredevil, and I think that he'll probably be an opposing lawyer.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen trailers or anything, Richard, but I mean,
is he in the trailers as Daredevil?
He is. Absolutely. That's like the first thing they show.
Fuck.
I think that what we're gonna see is an episode where it's him versus her, and she'll win, which.
Of course she'll win.
Yeah, I mean,
aside from the fact that this show is just a walking textbook example of misandry, of course she'd win in the comics as well. She's fucking She-Hulk.
She's awesome. I'm not saying that she's not awesome, but I'm just saying that like it's gonna be done in such like a lazy way. Like whereas in the comics, it's given like if Daredevil and She-Hulk are going against each other in the comics, it's not usually like a one and done. It's like we're gonna actually like develop this in this storyline. Whereas this is just gonna be one episode and then see ya. Bye. I'll be on.
Now we're friends. Now we'll work together.
I'll be on Daredevil season. I'll be on Daredevil Born Again. If she says that, like if he leaves the scene, she's like, "Go watch Daredevil Born Again next year or whatever." I'd be like, "Okay, that's funny." But they're not gonna do that.
I think that would probably jump the shark for me.
I am all about.
Beats her.
I like the first one.
Stay the hell out of Hell's Kitchen. That would just fucking send me. Absolutely send me. I'd be like, fuck's sakes.
Like, because I know, I don't know if we almost spoil this, I guess, because Richard, if you haven't watched the trailer, I don't want to say much, but like.
I don't give a shit about this show, man.
I know. Okay, fair enough. But I mean, like, I don't know, like, do you guys think she's going to get her outfit on next episode? Because we saw that's, do you think that's saving for the last one?
Yeah, it's the only thing I disliked about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, I love the show, but waiting until the last episode to see the suit was like.
I thought that was like cool. I was fine with that. Although I would have really appreciated if they had both gone through a change, because that was my only problem. I think in that sense, the end episode should have been called Captain America and the White Wolf or something like that. That would have been cool. Baller if that happened.
Yeah,
I said baller. What the hell?
Absolute baller, dude.
I think she'll get her costume in the last episode. We'll see her strike a heroic pose, despite not doing anything heroic the entire show.
And then
hopefully, if we're lucky,
now, I swear
they'll end the season there, and we'll never see her again.
Well, when Daredevil does that flip, she's in her suit.
She's in her suit? Okay, then she will have the suit next episode for sure. All right. I don't know how that's gonna go. Okay, because like maybe that'll be her looking her best in the CGI, because like it's all. At that point, CGI. So I mean, I guess
I'm so concerned, man.
Like it is tight to her body. So
I don't trust these writers with Daredevil, and I'm so afraid of what they're gonna do to him.
Next week is gonna be fucking riveting, people. Like I am gonna be on the edge of my seat, thinking,
I don't know, man.
How is Richard gonna think about this episode? Like, that's my takeaway.
I'm gonna hate it. I guarantee you I'm gonna hate it. Look, I'm gonna drop a little spice on this podcast, okay?
Absolutely. Drop all the
You ready for this?
Yep.
So this show does this thing where I've heard it referred to as fan baiting. And I truly believe that they are doing this, because look at our villain in this show right now. Right now, it's just this sort of out there internet
troll,
incels. And what they're doing is they're showing all of the angry men who don't like this show. And the unfortunate reality, and what I cannot stand about the current state of the MCU and just media in general, because I'm seeing this with the Rings of Power as well, is the writers and the producers, and especially the marketing teams, paint fans as bigots for rejecting what comes off as shitty, pretentious nonsense by unskilled activists posing as writers. And it is infuriating to me that as a fan of a certain type of material, that I cannot voice my displeasure for something without being labeled as a bigot, because I think that it's written poorly. I am old enough to have grown up with Ellen Ripley and thought that was one of the coolest characters that has ever been written. That is how you write a strong female character. Yeah. So when I say that I think She-Hulk is a piss poor example of not only a strong female character, but a strong lead in general, it is very disheartening and dishonest when I'm then called a bigot for saying such a thing. It's incredibly frustrating.
I will agree with your point to an extent. However, I will say, as a counter, I think that if Alien had come out today, I think that it would be a very different situation.
Is that
Well, yeah,
nerd
it would be
rage
exactly
culture
how I just
nowadays
described
where-
it.
No. I mean,
where-
if it same movie, like literally, if it was like the same, maybe just quality upgrades, because yeah, it's like different times. But I just mean that like people would respond. A lot of people would respond negatively to it because that's
Because
just how it is.
I'm going
this
to
day and
disagree.
age, the new thing for shows is fucking nerd rage. If it's not perfectly in line with exactly what they thought it would be, it's a bad product.
Well, that or like people are just very on this agenda stuff recently, where it's like, yeah, like they're putting a woman in a show that's on the agenda, and it's like
Yeah,
sometimes that's not true.
as soon as they put like a female lead in something, automatically it's woke propaganda bullshit.
Yeah, it's
and
like, why the
That,
hell
that's
is
that is
Prey-
exactly what I'm saying, though. That is the problem. Is that this stuff is that on the other end of this, you have people who are saying, oh, because they put a woman in it, some nerds are going to be angry. That's not the case. If that were the case, everybody would have hated Furiosa, but nobody did. Everybody loved it because it was a well-written character. So it is very, very frustrating when you're just instantly labeled as you're just some nerd saying,
not,
oh, I hate
wouldn't
woke
say
shit.
That it's instantly labeled. It's just that like the thing is, because I accept that you don't like the show and you're not a bigot. That's the thing. I totally am on board with that. But it's not because it's just because you're not doesn't mean that there isn't like a huge
because
group of people that like actually is very aggressively.
I genuinely don't believe that there is. I think there's
Well,
a very
you
You gotta
small
watch some
and-
of the YouTube channels I
I
watch.
don't
buddy.
know, man. Like 90%
I do.
of the people that I see complaining about the show are calling it just woke propaganda bullshit.
Like some
And
of the
my
comments
opinion,
that
it
you-
is.
like,
those
that
are
you'll
the people
see.
that are like are being called bigots because they're
Well,
saying this is a
hold
bad
on.
show simply because She-Hulk is a woman.
I think it's a bad show, and I think it's woke bullshit. I think the two things can go together. Still not a bigot. I think that the show is 100% pushing an agenda, and they lean on angry nerds to market the show. They want people to get angry. They want to piss off the fans because the fans aren't the people they're trying to get money from. They want to piss off the fans, stir up controversy, and then everyone is got their attention on it. It's the same reason why in all the promotional material for the Rings of Power, they hyper focus on the fact that they have people of color playing different characters in the show. That isn't there to say, hey, look, we care about black people. That's there to say, hey, fuckers, get mad.
See, but
Get mad so you can watch our shit.
So you're letting them just let you get mad though. Like you're like you're getting mad because that's what they want you to do.
What's interesting about that take for me is that like if that I guess that's your takeaway from the Rings of Power trailer, but like I watched that and I did not get that at all. Like I don't
I watched it.
That like there were people of color in there. Like to me that's
I've definitely like seen things where it's like, look, this guy, he's black. He's a character in the show and he's black. And I never got that from Rings of Power at all.
Like, it reminds me in the same way on the opposite spectrum when someone tweeted when Mandalorian came out, they were like, it took 15 minutes for a woman to show up on screen. And I'm like, if you are literally watching a show that hyper focused on that aspect, what the fuck are you doing? Like, holy shit.
Unfortunately,
people were saying that, considering what A New Hope is literally starts with Princess Leia being captured, like Dodoy, like Star Wars.
I can't believe it took them 2 seconds for a woman to show up. What's woke bullshit Star Wars is?
I agree with both sides here because I don't necessarily enjoy She-Hulk.
No, yeah.
I understand. Like I do feel like the sort of agenda pushing of She-Hulk with like gender roles and having like a woman a woman is always like being like have all this thing happening to them, but like there's definitely a group of people that watch this show and hate it simply because it's a woman.
Sure. Yeah, there's gonna always be shitheads out there. But my point is that if the demographic of your characters becomes more important than your story, then your story sucks.
Like I'm not disagreeing with you. This show, the writing is just abysmal, and like us doing these and talking about it, we have written a better story.
Yeah, we've always come up with better
sure.
ideas than they're probably gonna do, and I feel bad saying that, but this is a fucking report out there to Marvel to hire us at one point because we're fucking.
The funny thing is, I think we'd all go in there very differently. I think like Sam and AJ, if you guys went in there and were like hired on with Marvel, you'd be like giddy, happy schoolboys. I would be like, fucking everybody here's fired. You're all fired now.
I'd be giddy and happy because we got the fucking job. And then like if I'm given a power where like I could fire people, yeah, I might use that power. Like
I might be like, you're not here anymore because of something that you just said. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you guys are they're thinking about things all wrong with this show. Like I said last week, where like they need to reprioritize or like change up the formula for Marvel going forward because like it is not working anymore.
It for sure. 100%.
How would what would you do for that? Like, what would your suggestion be?
Like, because the formula now is
we're in a boardroom. Tell us what to do.
The formula now is they're packing in a shit ton of jokes at the expense of whoever the fuck, and they're just throwing like anything against the wall, seeing if it sticks, and they don't focus on the fucking main premise of the character or story. Like they have She-Hulk, whose main premise should be based around her character. She has alcoholism. She just got turned into a Hulk, so she's probably gonna be fucking pissed and depressed at that. And we should show that she can control her anger instead of just telling people that she can control her anger.
Yeah. Show and tell for sure.
We gotta fucking switch that shit up, man. Make like instead of like showing oh shit she has issues and then making a dumb lighthearted joke about it. No, dive deeper. Like get serious about some shit sometimes. Like this show should not just all be jokes.
Well, it would have been nice to see some actual back and forth, like with Bruce or with Hulk. The first episode about his experiences and why she has this. I hate saying this because it always is going to sound bad, but because she has this privilege of going forward as this Hulk while he has kind of set the stage for her to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, nerd. Okay,
nerd rage. Here we go, you bigot. Just kidding.
It's like I didn't feel as though she respected him, but he's literally he's gone through hell, woman. Like God.
Yeah, more so than almost anybody else.
Like half the universe, he's the only reason half the universe is still here.
Yeah.
He's probably been through.
What the fuck?
Right. The Hulk in particular in the MCU has probably seen more trauma than anyone else that we've seen.
Yeah.
There's only two characters that come close out of the main heroes, and that's probably Cap, and that's probably Thor. Those two are probably maybe Stark.
Because of like him being the most base level and him experiencing what he experienced in Avengers. Like I even accepted that in the Iron Man 3 that he's going through. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Iron Man 3, he was going through problems. Like have your characters go through problems that they need to solve instead of just having them be a fucking perfect specimen that there's no issues.
That's the problem. They've lost sight of the idea of storytelling in favor of just kind of like popping a nice can of MCU.
Yeah.
I still think with the whole like the invalidation of Bruce's issues and stuff like that. If that was the other way around, there would be so much more uproar. Much more.
Yeah, and like, if you switch the genders of like anything that anyone says in this, it's gonna be completely different. Like it's gonna cause immense rage.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying specifically with the Hulk thing. Like if who had said what though at the beginning?
So you know when she's just like, you don't understand, like I do it infinitely more than you. And it's like
if Hulk was saying that.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
you don't understand. Jen.
So well, that would have been so poorly received.
Yeah, you don't understand, Jen. I control my anger all the time. I don't care if you get like flirted with her. Then people are gonna be like, "Oh my god."
But it's like
I mean, imagine if Jen were a male character. Like we see. Okay, so if Jen is now James, and we see James at the bar all the time with the homies, getting drunk, saying really objectifying things about
he's gonna be an
women
asshole
all the time, constantly obsessing over little details that seem inconsequential and superficial. He comes across as like, oh, you're a complete piece of shit.
He makes a Tinder profile as the Hulk and then starts flirting with a bunch of women, but like he's all picky because they're not the ones he wants.
He's a piece of shit if we flip the genders here, and that is the reality. And I'm gonna say that this is probably
I can't believe Black Widow was a virgin.
Right. I think this is a testament to Tatiana Maslany though, because she has made what is otherwise an incredibly unlikable character at least somewhat adorable because she's just so good at the role.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel bad for her because I
Yeah,
think she's
like-
going to be taking a lot of flack that she does not deserve.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Like that's the whole thing too. Is if you're like a person already who's going beyond the point of being just already mad about a show, and then you're like taking it to the person, what the hell are you doing, dude?
Yeah,
why
yeah,
do you
that's-
have that level of
Separate
hatred?
the actor and the character.
Yeah, that's what
Please.
happened to that chick in Star Wars, the girl that played Rose or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's-
and like
that's disgusting.
and like Joffrey doesn't act anymore because like they hated him, like sent him death threats.
What?
Yeah, the actor for Joffrey doesn't
That's
act anymore.
ridiculous because like that's a great performance, is what that is.
It's incredible.
Jesus Christ.
Like-
That actually irks me. I was like literally thinking about that guy thing recently because I saw a video where he was giving like a lecture at a university or something like that. So god damn it, people. Why do you gotta ruin good things?
Those are the actual examples of like really bad toxic fandoms.
Yeah.
Star Wars is the prime example, I would say.
Yeah,
I-
for sure.
I hate when people claim to be a fan of something and then go that hard on hating the thing that they're a fan of.
I don't know, man. I hate Star Wars, dude.
Hey, Richard,
but it's also
did-
like my favorite thing.
Did you watch Prey?
I did.
Did you like
What do you
Prey?
think?
I
I
think
loved
that
it.
Prey is the second best Predator movie, second to
Richard,
the first
I
one.
fucking love you, man. I
I think it's an amazing movie.
I thought that.
I-
Yeah,
I-
I literally said the same thing because I was like, "That's the second best Predator movie," and because I like the second movie, but it's not great. Like, it's not a
No.
good movie.
Honestly, I have the same problem with Prey that I do with all the MCU right now. I wish that they did the thing in Prey where they showed like the gun and it ties it back to Predator 2, which also
I thought that's cute.
I did too, but it also implies that the Predators come back and fuck their shit up.
Actually, if you wait until after the credits of Prey, they do show that.
Yeah, I saw a little cartoon thing, but I just think it's a little.
It's a little
I guess odd.
weird. It's a little
but
weird.
That's
feel
my
like if
problem
they-
though
if
with
this
like the
movie
MCU.
succeeds-
Those
if this movie
stop
succeeds,
trying
they
to
might make
tie
a Prey
everything
2.
together in
Prey
a
2
neat
might
little
happen.
bow. Just that's I've said this on almost every episode of our She-Hulk discussions, but that is the thing that I would do to fix the MCU is stop tying things together. Untie it. Let things be on their own.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I feel like because I was talking to Till about this on Spawn Trap, which by the way, go check him out. Till's not here because he had to go do some other things today, but he'll probably be back with us next week. But I was on Spawn Trap with him the other day, and we were talking about like there are some characters that I think are just benefit from showing up in other projects, and like that's a cool way to interconnect things. Like, what was it that we were saying? Like when
Like
Doctor
Deadpool, I'm
Strange
just kidding.
shows up in Thor Ragnarok, right, for like a second, I was like, yeah, that was cool. That made sense, and I think that
Mhm.
because I mean, I'll be honest, the Doctor Strange movies don't really do it for me. So I think he's
Fair.
a cool character that shows up and helps. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's my I get what you're saying on like a connect shit in like a crazy way that is unnecessary, but if they're just characters, I think the best thing that the Avengers kind of did was show, all these characters, they can interact, but I don't think it needs to go crazy further than that. Like all of their movies should be like, yep, and now we're back. But like now we're at a point where I don't know, it's getting kind of muddled. I don't know.
I can't believe that we're at a point in the MCU timeline where like Age of Ultron seems refreshing compared to this shit.
That was also something Till was saying, is that like, yeah, he didn't really like Age of Ultron back in the day, and it like seems better now. But I guess
It seems significantly better.
It was
'Cause, like,
also
right now,
building towards things.
Like
in a sense.
Jesus, how many shows and movies are we gonna go without establishing what the hell is going on?
Yeah, you almost the Donnie from Ant-Man who's like over explaining everything.
Yeah.
We almost need like
Yeah.
a separate show where it's just him piecing everything together for us.
I'd
Or
watch
like it's not even that. Like
I want
like
him to do
She-Hulk, because like for like the entire show so far, I don't know what the fucking end goal
Yeah, like,
is.
what are we
right,
doing
like,
here?
dude, if the four of us on a goddamn She-Hulk podcast can't figure it out, the average consumer is fucked.
That was the same with like Hawkeye, where like we thought that was like, oh, Echo is gonna be like the big bad guy, and there's like, no, it's Kingpin. But
No,
he's in now.
I had the same kind of feeling though. I didn't think Echo was going to be the big bad. I had no idea where
Yeah,
we
like
were going.
they do that
show.
with a lot of things, where it's
Oh,
like,
Actually,
why
I
are
thought
these
the big
shows
bad
having
guy
to like?
was going to be the fucking sword guy or whatever. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought he was going to be the big
Well,
bad.
I
He
mean,
a
that was
goofball.
that was sort of set up well, where like you did think that like it was intentionally meant to like mislead you, but then it's like no, he's actually just a cool guy that wants to help out. You know, like
I guess I don't know. It was just like a very like again that show felt like it fucking dragged. Like, is it that movie or that show is gonna be a movie? And now Armor Wars, which was a show, is going to become a movie now.
Yeah.
Like
whatever.
Yeah, I think that like certain ones we need to make a movie sometimes. Like that one would have been a little bit better if it was shorter and just we're done.
Because like in Hawkeye, like we were even saying, it's like Hawkeye takes place in at Christmas time, and the end of Spider-Man is at Christmas time, and they were talking about the Statue of Liberty. What if Spider-Man now hops into Hawkeye, and that would have been cool. Like
that would have been cool. That would have been really neat. I would have liked that.
Because guess what? They don't give a fuck.
Like it was a perfect setup.
Crazy thinking that
was because like that's the perfect setup. They were talking about it in both instances. They were like, it's Christmas time. The Statue of Liberty is there. We're doing all this stuff, but no, they that was the perfect time to tie shit together because it was what we were expecting and building up. And then no.
What's crazy to me too is that it seems like the MCU doesn't. I've talked about this before, but like they don't really play by their own rules anymore.
Yeah.
Like in Hawkeye, for example. You got like the sword guy towards the end of the series. He's literally killing people just on the street. He's murdering people with a sword, and it's funny. I get it. But that whole thing is played for the lulz. But the back of my head, I can't stop asking the question like, does no one care that he's just killing people?
He's just murdering people.
What's crazy is you're saying that. I don't even remember that fucking happening. Really, like I get that he was using his sword, but in my head, I'm like, he's not killing people. Cause like,
they hand wave it in, admittedly the same way that a comic book would, so I can let it go. But it's still like this is the MCU. They don't kill people like that. You'd think that like somebody would be like, hey, whoa, dude, we don't stab people in the heart with a rapier. Like, fucking chill a little bit, man.
Yeah, because like they're sort of just becoming like no consequence, sort of.
Right. Meanwhile, you got like I don't know, like Iron Man is blasting holes in people's chests, and it's not graphic, but it's like
that's what I'm saying. Like I guess I could let it go.
Iron Man and Iron Man 1 was like, yo, like blast your chest, blow you up with a container there.
Yeah, I guess what kind of takes me out of it is when he literally kills another human being, like, and everyone around him is just like, and like everyone's just like, and they're just like making quirks. They're just laughing about it. Ha ha! Oh, that's so quirky.
He's playing with his RPG friends or whatever they were. In that
right?
scene
Like,
too. Like
you just killed like 7 dudes. They're dead. Like I get that they're henchmen, but like they might have had families, bro. It's Christmas.
Were they like they were like gang people, right? Because there was Kingpin, or like what was happening in the end fight?
I don't fucking remember because it all just ties together in a fucking
before we
haze
end this show,
of nonsense.
folks, I'm literally gonna go on Disney Plus and go on the last episode of Hawkeye because I need to know like what was actually happening right there.
I can't. I think that like the Hawkeye and the police were fighting the Kingpin gang.
They like removed Hawkeye from Disney Plus. Like no one's watching this.
It's like a big dumb thing for a second.
Which is unfortunate because I think that not to go into a Hawkeye discussion suddenly, but I feel like that show had moments that I was like, yes,
it did.
That show was actually better paced and better set up than the show.
Yelena,
for sure, 100%,
and Kate Bishop together.
Wonderful chemistry.
Yeah, like the greatest chemistry. It's the perfect Hawkeye Black Widow future aesthetic you could possibly ask for.
And that like goes into it where like he has a problem where he's trying to get to his home to have Christmas, and the entire I felt so bad for him because like the entire time he's like, I still gotta stay here and do other shit. I'm like, oh man, he can't go for Christmas
because Clint is a likable character.
Yeah,
it's
like
just
he's
crazy.
A good guy.
Imagine if She-Hulk had likable characters and chemistry between them. Imagine how good of a show it would be.
Imagine for a second, if you will. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. We're going into the Twilight Zone. This is a place. This is a world where She-Hulk has competent writing and is actually made. Watch as the world progresses 1,000 years in a decade. Okay. Wait, is this like this? Oh my god, we're saying that this is paced good, but like, oh yeah, it was the red shirt goon people, like the goddamn. What is it? The tracksuit,
comic
red
book
tracksuit.
henchmen.
Oh yeah,
the tracksuit mafia or
God
whatever.
Damn it! Okay.
Yeah, it's goofy. It's goofy comic
and
book
they're
shit.
killing those
that's
people.
Yes, they are murdering them. They are dying.
Them.
Like
Wow.
it's easy to forget that like Hawkeye shoots a bow with arrows.
Those are lethal weapons.
Like people are dying in the streets of New York, and everyone's just like, "Oh man, that was funny when
like
Clint said that thing."
Hospitals are filled with people with arrows sticking out of them. Like Hawkeye's in town.
Clint fell down and he hit the ground. He went owie owie, and that was funny. He just killed 7 people though, but that was funny when he said owie.
Did you read Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run? When was it? It was for Marvel now. It was like in the last decade. It was what that was all kind of based off of in a sense.
That's the one where he's just like the everyman, right? I've read it, but it was forever ago.
Yeah.
I'm not a big. I like the MCU
Vix,
and I like
what's
comic
up?
books. I don't actually read a lot of Marvel comics. I'm a DC guy.
So like in that, they really lean more into the fact that like he's like not got a lot of his equipment on him, and he's really whipping out all he's got on him. Which I think there was that episode where they were like literally running out of arrows, and they had to use the gaggy goof arrows. That shit is when it was at its peak. You know what I mean? That's
when I love Marvel the most. Marvel is at its best when they're just leaning hard into dumb comic book schlock. That's my favorite moments
for that make sense, like or that work with their characters so intensely. Like,
yep,
fuck. All right.
Anyway, She-Hulk sucks.
She-Hulk sucks a little bit. It's
She-Hulk's kind of bad.
Like,
These last episodes, maybe they're good.
I'll say this, folks. Like, and I didn't like Andor, right? But like, or so far, I haven't really liked Andor. I don't like She-Hulk, but like this is lower.
Dude, I'm a big fan of Andor, but I think that's mostly because there's no women in that show.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. That was a setup. I'm sorry. It was too easy.
I say this yesterday. I forgot to say this about Andor. It's fucking weird that there's AK-47s. It's fucking weird.
I watched that episode with my dad, and instantly my dad was like, "Since when can they afford Kalashnikovs in fucking Star Wars?"
Like
that's I saw that after like last week, where it was on like a thing where it's like, why is everyone so angry about this shit when they're not angry about the AK-47?
That's like
I don't actually think that it's a big deal. I think that's one of the few things that I can let go because every Star Wars weapon is a recognizable real world weapon.
But like, I would just add something to it, like put some fucking something. Oh
yeah,
on
dude.
It, man. Like
as a costume designer, I would have glued like a tin can to it and spray painted it black.
Something,
you know,
but it was literally an AK. I paused it. We were watching.
It was a little weird.
We were watching it in the Discord, and like there were a few other people, and everyone was like, I paused it. And I was like, "What's weird about the scene, everybody?" And everyone was like, "The AK-47s."
Yeah, if you freeze frame it, it does look like it. Like suddenly, this is from like a completely different show.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Snowpiercer now.
Yeah, you felt very much like, whoa, we're in like real shit now because there's an AK. That was gonna like when they shoot those guns, are they gonna be shooting bullets or are they gonna shoot lasers? Like what's gonna happen?
There are, to be fair, there are actual projectile bullets.
There are
in Star Wars, but I think what we're seeing is that they probably do have some extra shit on them to make them look less like AKs. We just didn't get enough of a view of them.
Yeah.
Well,
they don't have the one shit angle.
What's the stock? They don't have a stock, but I don't think that's a huge factor for AK necessarily. So
no, it's not.
So we'll see when it shoots. That's gonna be next week, and I'm hyped for the episode. Honestly,
I bet it shoots lasers.
I bet it shoots lasers.
If it's just like dakas, then dude, I'm done with Andor.
They get a fucking stormtrooper, dude. Like, can you imagine? Like, he's lit up and it's blood everywhere. Up
like blood shoots out. I'd be like, oh my god.
I'd be like, whoa, okay, I don't know if you got balls. I will say. But if they were gonna do that, then I would have expected in that first scene when he shoots the guy in the head that we saw that. I would have totally was expecting to see that in the show. If I'm being honest.
I don't want to sidetrack us too
blood
much,
and everything.
I thought it was gonna be dark, kind of.
That's how I felt when.
Well, it was pretty dark.
It was pretty dark, but I mean, like, I thought, like, we were gonna get like a shot of
it. Was like Disney dark.
Disney dark.
There's a scene in Obi-Wan where a stormtrooper falls onto a laser and gets cut in half.
Cut in half.
I remember seeing that and being like, "Holy shit, Disney! What the fuck?"
Like, whoa!
During like the episode when we were reviewing that, we were like, "Holy fuck!"
Right?
We had to
die
for a moment. That guy,
saw a guy get cut in,
and they hold on it, and you can see like even like a little bit of the fleshy underbits, and you're like, "Whoa, dude! Wow!" See, She-Hulk is so meh that we're going on about other shows way more. Like, holy crap.
Yes, it's the only way to tolerate it. We have to talk about other things that we like.
I'm excited for next week a little bit just to see how Daredevil's handled, but I mean,
I'm more excited about next week's episode than any other episode of this show.
Like, I am... These last 2 episodes, I hope wow us.
Or break.
I need them to. I need them to, man. Like, you know that like Say Something I'm Giving Up on You song? Like, that's me to Marvel right now.
That's like Kenobi.
Say something I'm giving up on
like,
you.
Please.
That's like Kenobi. The
The
first episodes, I'm like, oh, fuck, this sucks.
And
this
I won't
isn't good.
rewatch those. I will not rewatch those.
And then the last 2 episodes, I'm like, oh, fuck, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you guys in Discord. There's a fan edit of that movie that turns it into a 2-hour-long movie, and it's fantastic that way.
Oh,
like, it was originally supposed to be. Again, like, it's all about this pacing shit where I'm like, God damn, like, if you have these problems, maybe bring the episode down. We don't... What I like about Disney Plus is we have the potential to even have a 3-episode show, short thing, and be like, we're done. We're out of here. We only wanted to do that.
Because, like they're like, oh, we're gonna issue a 9-episode series, and like I'm sure that the creators like, I don't have enough stuff for that.
What do you want me to do for all that?
I'm just gonna have to like pad the runtime like ridiculously. Because like with She-Hulk, you could bring this down to 3 episodes. Like,
literally could. Like, it's insane that we're getting this long of a show, the longer than any other MCU show so far, right? I think
so. Yeah,
I think so. It's the longest one, and it's like I get it.
I think everything else has been like 8 episodes.
8 episodes max or something.
I really hope that the last episode of She-Hulk, right? We get all the CGI bullshit out the way. Screen fades to black, fades back in, and we get the intro to our new show with our new character, and we get like a little bit of a spoiler so that we can see that Madison with a Y and 2 N's, but not where you expect, is getting her own show.
Yes, I would pay to see that. She's brilliant.
I would not. Like, I would not pay to see that.
If I could get her and Wong just watching like Sex in the City, I'm fucking in.
No, they were watching Sopranos. I want to watch Sopranos with them. I would love that.
Right? That's what I want from the MCU, dude.
No.
We need more Madison.
I loved Madison so much, actually. And Madison and Wong, like, if we see Madison in the next Doctor Strange movie with Wong or wherever he appears, like,
oh my god,
that's the connections that I'm looking for. Like, if that kind of shit happened, I'd be like, yes,
that's good, right?
You made She-Hulk worth watching. I fucking know who you are.
If they,
I don't
can you imagine
women.
people who didn't watch, like, who don't watch the shows and like, being like, who the fuck is this Madison character?
Yeah, they're like, what the hell? Like, and she's relevant, dude. Like, she's sitting on the throne next to Wong or whatever. Like,
hey, Wongers.
Why does she keep saying the Y is not where you'd expect? Where is the Y then?
Yeah,
where is it? Is it safe? That's all I have to say about She-Hulk, dude.
All right, I'm actually looking up kind of right now, like, what is coming up? Because, like, when this show wraps up, I kind of forgot what's the next thing.
We have Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night comes out next week.
Yeah. What? I'm not going to be here.
Never mind. I don't want to break. I'm in.
Next week, I believe, is our Thanksgiving. So
yeah. So I'm going to Alberta for Thanksgiving.
Oh fuck! That's going to kind of fuck things up. I think. Shit,
wait.
I thought about a thing.
You guys have Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we have Thanksgiving in October.
What?
We have Thanksgiving a month before America does.
No, and I'm with you, kind of.
Blowing me away right now.
I don't like it. Not to be controversial here, but like,
I mean, like, I get it because like we have October, we have Halloween.
Yeah.
November we have Thanksgiving. December we have Christmas. But for us, it's like Thanksgiving and Halloween.
That is way too many calories in 1 month, dude.
We have like Remembrance Day. Well, we don't eat anything on
we don't eat anything for Halloween.
You're talking about the candy, dude.
Candy. I get it.
I guess you're right.
But that's for the kids mostly. If I'm eating.
Hold on.
Shut up. You were a
November
liar.
1st is the adults Halloween. Okay, you could go out and get like a bunch of candy for like $20.
True.
That's awesome. I do love
that.
that
You
day.
rob your child's fucking candy when they go to bed.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So
I don't have a child, so
I would like to get us all to talk. I mean, if we're all into talking about Werewolf by Night, like I would be totally down because that's right up my goddamn alley.
Apparently,
you guys already know I'm in.
Marvel, it's pinnacle for the supernatural side of the MCU going.
They took away the I forget what genre it was before, but they changed it strictly to horror now.
Can I
Yeah.
Did you guys see? Have we talked about this already? Like, did you know who's in that movie?
No.
Is it Blade?
No. The first part of his name is Man.
Swamp
Thing? Oh yeah, Man Thing.
Man.
Swamp Thing.
Marvel's Swamp Thing.
Man Thing is in the movie. So
Yeah.
Fuck.
I've seen that.
Holy shit, people! This is gonna be a cool movie. And
Hey, are we gonna do a Black Adam thing, or do you guys give a shit at all about DC?
I honestly do not
know
give a
if I'm going to
shit.
go see that movie. When does it even come out?
I am desperately wounded that you guys are more interested in seeing She-Hulk than Black Adam.
Yeah.
Whoa, sorry that movie looks like dog shit, dude. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry the entire DCEU has been fucking awful so far.
That movie literally cannot. Hey, Muffin, thanks for following.
Hey, Muffin.
I don't want, dude. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
No, I actually really want to see Black Adam.
I want to see it
I'm
just go like,
stoked, man.
what the fuck?
I'll see it.
I think Black Adam is going to either fix the DCEU or completely break
Bro,
it.
I don't know,
I
man.
think
I don't think anything can fix
can save this thing. Yeah,
I don't think anything except a hard reboot can fix this thing right now.
The irony about I know we keep getting derailed, and I gotta go
No, it's
fucking
all good,
stream.
it's all good,
But
it's all good.
the irony about the DCEU to me is that yes, like cinematically, it's broken, but from a comic book perspective, it is way more tight than the MCU is.
Yeah.
It is straight up like ripped from the comics.
Yeah.
It's so bonkers to me how like they fucked it up cinematically, but the story they got going on is actually pretty damn tight.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
I would say that like the DCEU fucked up immensely when in the second movie they killed Superman. I was like, what?
I guess it
the
just goes
they
to show
definitely blew
that
their load.
comic accurate doesn't mean shit.
Also,
Yeah,
I'm
also
sorry
true.
that I didn't watch Peacemaker. I'll say that right now. I'm sorry I didn't watch that.
Oh, that was
Apparently
good.
You need
was
to.
really good.
Peacemaker was good. Peacemaker
Where
was
is
great.
that on? Like, where would I watch that?
HBO Max or Crave. If you have Crave, it's
Okay,
on
if I
there.
have Crave, I can watch that there.
We watched it
It
on
is-
Sky in England.
My
like
own
apparently
humble
that's fun.
opinion, it's better than anything that the MCU has put out television wise.
Okay, yeah. Oh, television wise, yes, I can see that.
Like, okay.
Because it's
Even-
James Gunn, dude. Like James Gunn
Yep.
single-handedly like saved like a little portion
Exactly,
of
right?
the
Like,
DCEU.
Suicide Squad comes
Mhm.
out, and it's like, god damn, that was good.
That is the best
Yep.
DCEU movie out there, and it's because
That's
James
why
Gunn
I'm
did
holding
it.
on to hope though. Is like there is a sliver of hope, and if they bring Superman back in Black Adam, which the rumor is that's going to happen, I think they can probably fix it.
I
We'll see,
just
though.
think,
Maybe.
fuck it. I think let it
I
go
don't
for
know,
a
man.
hot
Like,
second, and just let it and do
Yeah. I
something
don't know what
again
they
in
were
like
doing,
15
like-
years.
They're like, oh, we're casting Ben Affleck and all these actors, and we're kicking out Ben Affleck, and Henry Cavill's gone,
Yeah,
and now
it's
Ezra
very
Miller's all
frustrating.
fucked up.
Yep. I just I'm a DC guy at heart. I always have been over Marvel. So you put Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and the Flash in something, and I'm gonna watch it.
Like, I'm sorry, but like, there are characters in DC that I like, sure, but like, Batman is like really the guy that I
Overrated.
go to. Well, he's
okay.
overrated. I agree that he's overrated, but when it comes to like a rogues gallery and like stories
What-
that a character has, I just feel like he's got my
Yeah. Quickly, what is your opinion, Richard, of the new Batman?
Robert Pattinson, that movie.
Yeah.
Very good movie. Hard to watch.
Hard to watch.
What do you mean? Why?
It's just fucking blurry.
Oh, okay. I like physically hard to watch.
Yeah, like don't get me
Okay,
wrong. I
yeah.
think that like the director of photography did a great job of like the movie is beautiful, but
Yeah.
it's something about like I don't know if it's like their choice of film or if they intentionally smeared
Well,
Vaseline over
maybe
the
you
movie,
just need glasses.
Yeah,
or
maybe
maybe I
that's
just
science.
fucking need glasses.
Maybe
Maybe you'd like She-Hulk a lot more if you could see the show.
I don't know about that one.
I guess you're hearing it plenty well.
hearing
think,
hearing it's more traumatic, I think.
Yeah,
You might actually
I
like
think
it
that
more
the
if you
Batman was
weren't
good.
seeing She-Hulk.
The only complaints I have about the Batman movie is the dumb Joker shit they put in. That would have been much better. I'm a huge Batman fan.
Yeah.
My entire forearm is covered with bat tattoos because I really
Bat
like
twos?
Batman. Bat twos, dude. That me. But I am so fucking tired of the Joker. He's like just
honestly.
God damn it. Give me a goddamn Mr. Freeze, please.
Yeah, focus
Show
on
me
other people.
Clayface.
Like, that's the thing I'm saying. Rogues Gallery. They have fucking awesome Rogues Gallery for
Batman
for
has
Batman.
the best villains. Just point blank, and I don't think many people would argue with that. He's got some of the most iconic villains in comic books.
My only fighter against that would be Spider-Man. That would be the only fight. But
he has a pretty good,
but they're
Spider-Man's
also just very different. They're very like.
There's a reason when they do crossover comic books, typically Batman and Spider-Man are the ones crossing over.
Yeah, because like they can just equal each other
because they're fan favorites, man. Both of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Batman souls the DC universe. All right. Well, anyway, any final thoughts, you guys?
None. See you guys next week.
Okay.
I just also because we were going off of so there'll be Werewolf by Night, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. We'll talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Will be coming out. I
guess so.
I guess that's happening.
I don't know, man.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania in February. So there's no shows really.
That's good. Thank fucking God.
Yeah,
we need
really.
To chill out of the show.
Marvel, you need to chill out of the show thing a little bit right now. There's a lot happening.
Trying to keep up with it all is fucking ludicrous.
It is exhausting.
It really is.
It's a full-time job on top of my full-time
Wednesday,
job.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I got my fucking plates full.
Yeah. Like, okay, so Secret Invasion comes out in spring 2023. That's the next series coming.
Okay.
I don't think we'll get any actual plot development until then. That'll be the actual plot.
Okay, so you don't think that there will be... I think that's wrong, Richard, because apparently Quantumania has fucking Kang in it. So I don't know, man. That is insane to me that they're doing that. That sorry, not to go on this tangent. Multiverse of Madness. Nothing. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania gets fucking Kang showing up in that movie. Pardon?
I don't see there being any wrong with that. To be honest.
It's like that scale. Like, if Kang is gonna be what's gonna happen to Kang in this movie? Is Ant-Man gonna kick him away and be like, okay, well,
I think he's gonna die and it'll be a different Kang coming in again.
Fuck me, man. I thought it was just the one Kang.
Because Kang is the only villain that you could actually kill and he could come back. You know,
yeah, he's infinite. He's basically like Rick Sanchez.
I just thought that he was practically unkillable because he was like the prime Kang or something like that. But okay, never mind. I honestly don't know a whole lot about Kang. Like the only thing I really have seen is the cartoon. I don't remember which one it was because there are so many weirdly named goddamn Avengers cartoons.
I tried watching all those and it just got weirder.
I think that they blew their load. They could have had an excellent opportunity to make Scarlet Witch the actual prime villain of the MCU, and they fucked that up.
Oh, dude. Yes, if that had been where we were going, that would have been fucking dope. I would be like, let's wait on Kang for a second. Let's do some Scarlet Witch shit.
She might come back.
She might come back. I got so duped when D23 happened. I know, dude. I'm so fucking worried about that. Oh, don't say that, Richard. But I got duped at D23 and I thought of fucking, what was it called? It was Scarlet something. It wasn't Witch. It was
Scarlet Spider.
it was the Scarlet Witch movie and I got duped into thinking it was real. Fuck, I wish that we got something like that. And it's a dark movie. It's oh man, I would kill for that in this universe. But yeah, so we don't have anything really going on show-wise until then, but we'll come back for the movies and whatnot. We'll be talking about Werewolf by Night probably in the next few weeks. And I believe House of the... okay, wait. What's wrapping up on this week?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we saw House of the Dragon and Andor to talk about for the rest of the month, so we still got content. And then on the 22nd, when Rings of Power is done and wrapped up, we will have our extended cut Rings of Power discussion, where we go for 3 hours about why did
tune in for that one, folks. It's gonna be juicy.
It's gonna be big.
Juicy.
I need to watch that.
Go check out Richard, of course. He is the best. We get to throw shit at him on the stream, so...
Throw eggs at him?
Do not
He's alright.
Throw your own poop? I don't know.
So thank you. Also, yeah, so Muffin, we're going to raid into you. I don't know if you're listening still, but...
Muffin, welcome.
Muffin is currently playing League of Legends. Oh, wait, no. Maybe he's playing World of Tanks.
Oh, Jesus, you scared me. Sai just popped out of nowhere. I didn't finish the...
Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
I like it.
We'll be back next week to talk about the Daredevil episode, and hopefully we're feeling a little bit better about the show by then.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but...
we can pray.
We can goddamn pray.
1 second, I'm going to put the raid message.
Okay, you put that. I'll get this thing going in. Muffin, you got a long name. There we go.
And then bam, bam. Put another bam right there. Bam.
All right,
Oh,
I'll do
we
this
got
one
3
too.
hearts. Monkey.
All right, you can pick either
Yeah.
or. They're
Nobody
both.
tells me what to say.
Yeah, you can do what your heart desires.
The monkey is an AJ classic.
What if I tell you to do what your heart desires? Like, does that like kind of just what happens then? 'Cause
I ain't gonna say
telling you what to
shit.
do. God damn it, Richard! You're the only
He immediately
reason that they
burst
care.
into flames.
Do not
I
compute.
can't compute.
Error.
His heart
4,
desires to
4.
just die instantly.
Relatable. All right, on that note, everyone. Jesus
Jesus.
Christ! All right. On that note, thank you guys for watching Maclunkey.
Maclunkey.
Maclunkey, goodbye.
What the hell was that?